So good afternoon to all of you. So this is our first class on herbal drug technology. So herbal drug technology is BP 603. So here we are going to see an outline of unit number 1, herbs as raw materials. Okay, so I just would like to give you a brief outline of how we can differentiate herbal drug technology from pharmacognosy. So in case of pharmacognosy, we focus more and more on various processes that are involved in collection, cultivation, processing, identification means qualitative and quantitative evaluation and related concept, related issues, okay, in general. But in case of herbal drug technology, our viewpoint is always towards herbal industry. Okay, so here we need to learn everything in the viewpoint of herbal industry. Okay, so if you are doing collection or cultivation, processing, analysis, storage or supply, and other rules and regulations. So all of them, whatever are connected to pharmaceutical industry, are discussed in herbal drug technology. So this is the way how we have to see. Okay, whenever we study any concept here, so we will see that how it is implemented in pharmaceutical industry or herbal drug industry is what we are going to study. Okay. So here in herbal drug technology, in unit number 1, we have 3 subtopics are there. One is herbs as raw materials. So here we will see what exactly is herb, how many different medicinal products are there in case of herbal medicines, and then how they are prepared, and what are the various sources of herbs. Here, how do we select, how do we identify a drug, how do we authenticate herbal materials, how do we process herbal raw materials is what we are going to see in the first part. And in the second part, because herbs are to be obtained, okay, so through cultivation we are going to obtain most of our herbal material that we are going to use. So that's the reason why biodynamic agriculture means here good agricultural practices. So because in case of manufacturing of any pharmaceutical, good manufacturing practices or GMP will be there. Because in case of herbal drugs, we are going to use agricultural processes to obtain our herbal material. So that's the reason why we need to understand what are all the good agricultural practices in cultivation of medicinal plants, including organic farming, pest control management, biopesticides, etc. Because in these days, okay, using pesticides and inorganic manures or synthetic materials in especially cultivating medicinal plants, for cultivation of medicinal plants, it is now suggested not to use synthetic materials. Okay, that's the reason why organic farming, manure preparation, and what are the different types of cultivation methods that people right now are implementing in pharmaceutical industry, that is herbal drug industry, is what we are going to see in biodynamic agriculture. Some of the principles and practices are what we are going to discuss here. And then you will be given an outline of what are all the various Indian systems of medicine are there. Okay, so like the principles involved in Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and homeopathy. So in brief, we call it as, okay, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy, Ayush. Now we have a separate department in the central government which deals with herbal drug preparations or alternating medicine preparations. Okay, so that department is what we call it as Ayush department is there. and preparation and standardization of some Ayurvedic formulations like aristas, asavas, gutikas, churanas, and lehyas and bhasma. So some of the formulations that we are going to take, and then we will do analysis of those drugs. Maybe you might have seen in pharmaceutical analysis, maybe in the laboratory session itself, you might have done this standardization of drugs, quantification of drugs, quantitative evaluation of drugs like titrometric analysis of diphenhydramine, etc. In the same way, because in the market, so many different types of formulations are available in Ayurvedic pharmacy. What are all the various methods that we have to use for evaluation of those drug preparations is what we are going to see over here. So here you will get a clear-cut difference, clear-cut understanding on how in the herbal drug industry formulations are evaluated, and some of the rules and regulations are also we are going to see in herbal drug technology. Okay, I hope I made myself clear in differentiating herbal drug technology from pharmacognosy. Okay, so let's see in brief about some of the terminologies and things that we are going to learn here. The first thing is we need to understand these three things. One is herbal medicine, herbal medicinal product. Okay, so how can we define a herb? A herb is obtained from a plant in the form of a plant part or total plant or product obtained from plant. Okay, so what is the difference? In case of plant part, we are going to collect leaves, root, bark, fruits, etc. Okay, so leaves means senna leaves are there. Like in case of senna leaves we are going to get. In case of root, okay, so we have so many roots are available like ashwagandha or raulfia. In case of bark, we have cinnamon bark is there. In case of fruits, we have orange is there. Okay, so like this, if you are directly making use of a plant part, a part of a plant obtained from a total plant, or total plant itself means in case of some of the plants like Vinca rosea, it is suggested to make use of the entire plant. And a product obtained from plant, it means like an exudate or a resin or a gum. Okay, exudate like opium, a resin like benzoin, gum like tragacanth. Okay, so either a plant part, whole plant, or a produce obtained from a plant. So all these three are what we call as herbal material. Okay, so herb literally means a small plant. Okay, but here for our subject, that is herbal drug technology, herbal material means either a whole plant or a plant part or product of a plant which have medicinal value. Okay, so this is the meaning of herb. What about herbal medicine? Herbal medicine is a product. Herbal medicine means a formulation made from herb. Okay, so herbal medicinal product is a concoction of several herbs made into a product. So there is a small difference between herbal medicine and herbal medicinal product is there. That is what you are going to see in our further discussion. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, in most of the cases, these two are used synonymously. So nothing to worry. In this single slide, how many different components you can see? See here we have a herb, and herbal products are also there. So here we have clove, and here we have pepper, here we have ilachi. So all these are there. Along with that, we do have essential oils here. Okay. So we have a herb, herbal product, herbal materials are there, and then here an exudate or the distillate that is obtained from plant is also there. Now, what is this one? This is actually a material or a drug, a medicinal product that is made by mixing various herbs and making it into a formulation. So this is what we call it as either herbal medicine or herbal medicinal product. Okay, so usually this is what we call it as herbal medicine. Herbal medicinal products are actually these are all official preparations. So what are all the products which we consider as official preparations? Official drugs. So just like in case of allopathic drugs, we have Indian Pharmacopoeia is there, IP. Okay. So in the same way, we have Ayurvedic formulary. Ayurvedic formulary or Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia is also there. Okay. So like this, for every country, like European country, European region, Asiatic region, Chinese and American, British, so they have their own formulary, pharmacopoeia, which describes certain products which are official preparations. So they will have a label, they will have appropriate package will be there. So this type of medicines are what we call it as herbal medicinal products. I hope I made myself clear here. How many different products are available? Okay, so here I am giving you some of the examples of products that are Ayurvedic products prepared in case of Ayurvedic products. So these are some of the terminologies that we use, like Teila, Avaleha, Ark, Asava or Arista, Bhasmas, Vatis, Churnas. Okay, so I'll give you a few examples here. Taila means medicated oils. So many oils are available in the market, including pain-killing oils, hair oils, which are medicated. Okay. And avalehas are jams or pastes. Okay, so the best example is Chyawanprash, which is maybe most of you might have seen this one, avaleha. So this is actually a Chyawanprash. This is actually a medicinal product. The next one is Arka. So here, so these are the products which are obtained by distillation. Distillation means either by using steam distillation or any other distillation. So most of the products that are obtained in Arka are all essential oils. So here we have essential oil containing formulations. So Ajwain, Ark, which relieves your gastric discomfort, and we do have Swashamrit. This is one more product by Dabur. So where this is also contains volatile oils. The best example, another example is we have Pancha Tulasi. Pancha Tulasi is also another example of Ark. The next one is Asavas or Aristas. So here we have Khadira Arista. So these Aristas are obtained by fermenting the herbal products. Okay, and then they will obtain this one. So this is also mostly used for relieving your gastric problems. Then comes Bhasmas. So this is Abrak Bhasma. So here they use heavily the metals, and then they will let the metals through specific processes to ultimately obtain bhasmas. Okay, so there are specific processes are there which we are going to see in detail in the coming lecture sessions. Okay, there are dedicated topics are there where you will see how actually what are all the various processes that are involved in preparation of all these ingredients. Okay, all these herbal products. And then what is here, these are all the herbal tablets that we have, tablets or pills. And then churnas. In churnas, they actually take the herbal product and make it into powder. Okay, so such 2-3 mixtures are taken and then prepare this formulation. So here ultimately the product looks like a powder. So you will be asked to take 1 teaspoonful or 2 teaspoonfuls of the herbal powder with whether water or juice or milk as per the suggestions by the Ayurvedic doctor. Okay, so Triphala Churna is one of the very famous churna that is there in use for centuries. Okay, so these are the various types of products that are available in Ayurvedic preparations. Okay, so these are all what we call them as herbal medicinal products. Okay, so I hope I made myself clear here in describing the actual meaning of all these herbal medicinal products. Then one of the major problem with the herbal industry is source of herbs, or we call it as supply problem. So in case of herbal industry, they suffer a lot from supply problem because one is quantity, because the plants actually they have their own time, season, maturity, okay, or age, in which they will produce specific secondary metabolites. Okay, secondary metabolites are not present all the time. So every plant will have its own time, its own season, its own maturity level or age to produce a secondary metabolite. So that's the reason why, though we have a lot of demand, in sufficient quantity you cannot supply a herb. That is one very big problem. The second one is quality. Okay, so quality varies because with maybe you might have seen in pharmacognosy the different types of parameters which influence cultivation of herbs. Okay, so here the issue with quality is if you change the region, climate, soil, and temperature, fertility, fertilizers, etc. If you change them, it affects the secondary metabolite concentration. Second one is because of non-availability of some of the herbs. Okay, pilferation or substitution of the product. Okay, so they will add unnecessary materials to increase the quantity, so thereby quality of the herbal products, maintaining quality of the herbal products is a very big issue. The third one is herbs are living materials. Okay, so when you are collecting herb, okay, the herbs shall carry some of the life processes along with it. That's the reason why spoilage due to due to failure in storage. Failure in storage. Storage conditions are to be maintained, otherwise herbal materials are prone to easy spoilage. So these are the reasons why supply of herbs is a really tough task right now. So because of that, herbal drug industry is relying on some of the herbal resources. So newer resources are coming up, and some of the resources that are very popular in herbal drug industry is what we are going to see today. So these are the two major reasons why we have to be careful in selecting source of herb and using them. Okay. So as far as sources of herbs are concerned, one is wild. Okay, wild means from forests. Obtain the herbs from forest. The second one is cultivation. Okay, second one is cultivation. And the third one is the alternating newer methods that are evolved, that is tissue culture or biotechnological methods. Okay, biotechnological methods. Now let's see one by one their advantages and disadvantages. Let's say in case of wild or forests, what are the advantages that we have here in case of forest, in case of wild source? One is you need not spend any money in growing the plants. Okay, plants are growing on their own in the wild in such a typical environment. So the actual investment is almost zero. Only thing is you have to take permission, go into the forest, and then collect the herb and then transport it to your industry. The second one is, in case of forests, you will see enormous biodiversity. Enormous biodiversity. When we have enormous biodiversity, its advantage is it increases the concentration of secondary metabolites in the plant. Secondary metabolites in the plant. So this is major advantage, especially in case of wild source. The third one is the plant material is authentic. Plant material is authentic because when we are collecting a plant in a region, in that region, you need not bother about modification or otherwise. In case of plants, okay, when you shift a plant from its native environment, it will affect the secondary metabolite concentration. So that problem will not be there. That problem will not be there in case of wild sources. But what are the disadvantages? What are the disadvantages with wild sources? Can any one of you tell me any disadvantages are there in case of wild source? Any one of you? What are the disadvantages with wild source?
Purity, microorganisms.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. So one is supply problem. Okay, because in case of forest, the plants are dispersed in different regions. So collecting all of them and also supplying them is a big issue. Second one is there is no surety of production. If you are collecting material from very huge plants like cinchona, etc., then there is a possibility of dependable limited supply of material will be there. But if you are collecting material from small herbs, then there is a possibility that because so many plants are there, one of the plant species may dominate the second one. So thereby, the actual required plant species may be completely replaced by the newer versions. So that's again another problem. Third one is regulations. Forest Act. Okay. So the region is preserved. Okay. preserved or reserve forest area where the entry and exit are restricted. So this is again another problem. Fourth one is manpower. Okay, let's say if you take in case of forest region, only locals will be allowed to no handle the all financial tasks within that region. So that is again another problem in case of wild source. So what are the advantages? We have financial advantage because you need not spend your money. Investment is not needed in case of cultivation. You only have to spend your money in collection. Okay, and it has innate advantage because it is growing in a unique environment. So there is every possibility that you will get high quality herbal products with the highest concentration of secondary metabolites. Okay, and again, as your classmate said rightly, because when we are collecting any material in wild, okay, because you are nobody is taking any kind of a care regarding that plant and its quality. So there is every possibility that pests or microbial contamination will be there. So hygienification or cleaning of herbs, they may take a lot of time and lot of investment in case of wild source. Okay, so this is about the wild source. And regarding cultivation, the best example for cultivation is, can anyone of you give me one example of cultivating herbal products?
Tea, sir.
Excellent. Tea and coffee, because we are no very much familiar with these two, tea and coffee. And in the recent time, you might have seen a lot of products that are coming with aloe vera. Earlier, aloe vera used to be considered as a pest. Okay, so some waste material, only use it for a very few purposes. But right now, you can see herbal shampoos with aloe vera, herbal face packs with aloe vera. So many are coming. So this is it. Okay, aloe vera is also now cultivated. And another commercial crop only, curcuma longa. Okay, so this is again another commercial crop. You might have already seen this one, starch. Starch is also a very important commercial product that comes under pharmacognostic purview. Okay, so starch is obtained from potato, rice, etc. So all these are cultivated. So what are the advantages with cultivation? One is supply. Because when a crop is cultivable, okay, when you can cultivate a crop, it's only the question is only with the land. Okay, you can acquire land or you can allocate land so that you can increase production according to the demand. Second one is sustained supply, sustained quality. Okay, so you will have uniform quality throughout the year. Okay, so whenever we needed some material, you need not bother about the quality, because that is not the case with the wild source where quality is a very big issue. Third one is you need not face any difficulty with the pests or microbial contamination, etc. Because if you see in case of coffee, tea, etc., in these or curcuma, etc., so there is the material quality maintenance and quantity maintenance both can be done by using specific agricultural practices, which helps us control pests as well as microbial contamination. Okay, so you can have a dependable source over here in case of cultivation. So what are the disadvantages here in case of cultivation? In case of cultivation, all medicinal plants cannot be cultivated. One is non-cultivable. Okay, all medicinal plants cannot be cultivated. So we needed specific soil, specific temperature, specific altitude. So that is the reason why all medicinal plants cannot be cultivated. So that's the reason why we face a difficulty over here. In case of cultivation, several factors influence the farmers from choosing a plant over the next one. Let's say right now, when you grow aloe vera, if you are getting so many profits, they probably won't switch over to curcuma, which may not be able to provide you enough money. So these are all some of the financial, social issues that control cultivation of herbal products. Third one is because when we go to commercial production of herbal materials, things may become a little bit complicated. Demand supply issue will come. So that may hinder further cultivation of some of the herbal plants. Okay. So the advantages are sustained supply, high quality, and very low pest or microbial contamination. It can be corporate kind of a style can be followed in case of cultivation. The disadvantages are non-cultivable and financial involvement of financial other market issues in which can influence cultivation of herbal materials because the market is really complicated to understand. So that's the reason why instead of herbal material, most of the farmers dedicate their land for cultivating other pulses and other food related materials. Okay, so these are the issues with the cultivation of herbal materials. But here you can have a very tight hold on the quality and quantity of supply of herbal products. Okay. The third one is tissue culture. Or biotechnological methods. So here, to give you a few examples, we'll discuss in detail regarding all these methods in coming lecture sessions. Okay. So in case of tissue culture, the best example is, let's say if you take vinca. Vinca contains vinca alkaloids to the extent of 0.0012 to 0.0002%. Okay. Means from 1 kg, you may hardly get 1 gram or 2 grams of vinca alkaloids. So if this is so how much material is needed for extraction? Can we cultivate? Because the concentration of vinca alkaloids is very, very low. So that's the reason why scientists first attempted different types of culturing methods that are available with plant tissue culture, and they could successfully evolve a methodology where vinca leaves can be cultured by using submerged fermentation type of liquid culture or scalable tissue culture methods were evolved. So it is helping in herbal industry in supplementing the need for vinca alkaloids. And another one is Taxol. Here, this is a typical problem is there with the Taxol, where if you sow a seed, it takes at least 20 to 25 years for the plant to grow to an extent to obtain Taxol. Okay. And if you have, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, there is a power failure. I don't know. Okay, anyway. So in case of Taxol, this is the problem where you have to wait for 20 to 25 years to obtain Taxol by using classical method. Or you have to wait at least 8 years to obtain leaves from where we can have baccatin. So from where Taxol can be obtained in 6 steps. It's a synthetic procedure. So instead, scientists have obtained endophytic fungi to obtain taxanes. Okay. So these are all the methods that are available for tissue culture. So all these are right now the major sources of herbs. Okay. So for our herbal drug industry. So every one of these methods have their own advantages and disadvantages. In case of tissue culture, advantages are it is totally scalable. There is no question of quality issue. Okay, so you will have required secondary metabolite being obtained directly from the material. So you need not worry about land, you need not worry about environment, etc. Everything is controlled. The problem with tissue culture is all plant materials cannot be cultured, and it is expensive. It is expensive. So this is the reason why very few products are right now. We had discussed in detail regarding wild sources and cultivable sources, and then tissue culture. Okay, so every one of these methods have their own advantages as well as disadvantages. So appropriate industry adopt appropriate type of technology to obtain their herbal materials. Okay, so with this I'll conclude today's lesson. We'll continue this discussion in the next class on the details regarding various sources of herbal materials only. So here I gave you only an outline. So there we will see in detail. Okay, and also we will see in detail regarding quality parameters used for selection of herbal material. Okay, so I hope I made myself clear here.